Hello everyone. We are going to do a quick video today outlining the 5 stages of the startup lifecycle. If you are part of a startup, it is critical you understand the startup lifecycle and what stage you're in. Understanding the stages exactly where your business is will help you focus on exactly what is important to the business right now and what milestones you should be working on to get to the next stage. It'll also help you understand what your best funding options are for your current business state if you are considering funding. On that note, if you have not checked out my video before this one, it talks about how to create the perfect pitch deck to get investors' attention and all the things that you should include. I'll put a link to that in the video at the end of this one. You're definitely going to want to check that one out. Last thing before we jump in, if you like content like this, please subscribe so you don't miss videos like this in the future. Also, if you have questions about the content in this video or questions about what I'm covering, please ask in the comments below. I've always enjoyed helping founders through this process. All right, let's jump in. Stage 1, ideation. In this initial stage, entrepreneurs come up with a business idea. Here, entrepreneurs test their hypothesis by doing market research. They conduct market research to validate the concept, identifying potential customers and assessing the demand for the product or the service. And to be clear, this is not market validation. This is to validate the concept. The very first round when a startup raises funding is called the pre-seed round, and this is basically the idea stage of your startup. Since the idea is still not tested, it's typically difficult to raise funding from external investors, and that's why the most common pre-seed funding sources are self-financing or the friends and family round. You do have the option to do business pitch events. However, the most common by far is the friends and family round. Stage 2, early stage or seed round. As the name suggests, seed round is like planting a seed. It means you have tested the idea, you found the product market fit, and now you need to move towards building your MVP or your minimal viable product. Seed funding enables the founders to conduct market tests, onboard mentors, maybe board members, develop the business plan, and start building their founding team. Common sources of funding at this stage are typically incubators, accelerators, angel investors, and crowdfunding platforms. Stage 3, the growth stage or the Series A round. By this stage, your startup has launched their product or service in the market and you guys are ready to scale. Early feedback has been collected, improvements have been made, and now you have market validation in the form of paying clients. Startups raise their Series A round to do all of these things, and investors choosing to invest at this stage start giving more importance to key performance indicators like customer base, revenue figures, app downloads, amongst other things. The Series A stage typically also marks the beginning of venture capital or VC financing if you decide to go that route. Stage 4, growth or scaling. By this stage, the startup is growing fast, and now the focus is basically purely expansion. The focus is on acquiring more customers, expanding the team, and scaling operations. Marketing and sales efforts definitely intensify, and the company aims to establish a solid position in the market. Startups burn a lot of money in marketing at this stage, and that's why they raise new series of funding rounds, typically the Series B, C, and D round. Since you have already raised multiple rounds of funding at this point, the risk factor significantly decreases to investors, and as a result, now new avenues of funding become available to you. In this stage, you can also start thinking about family offices, private equity firms, investment banks, just as a few examples. And now that you're a stable company, you also have the option to go to the bank and get a loan. This is where you don't have to give any equity away from your company, and you can just return the money with some interest in the future. Stage 5, the exit stage. After the growth stage comes the exit or maturity stage. At this stage, the company has achieved stability and maturity. As a founder, you have now spent years building a startup into a big company and now have several options in front of you. You can start to think things like IPO, merger, getting acquired, maybe acquire other companies and fold them into your own. You have lots of options here. In a different scenario, the founder that wants to continue to run the startup or maybe regain control of the startup, in which case they can buy back shares of their own company from other investors and give those investors an exit. You have lots of options here as a mature company stage. So there we have it, a quick overview of the 5 stages of startups. It's important to note that these stages are not strictly linear, and some startups may iterate through them multiple times. Additionally, the journey can vary based on industry, market conditions, and of course the unique circumstances of your startup. I hope this video gave you something to think about, and if you found it insightful, you should check out my ebook. I'll put the link to the description below. It covers the first 10 things I would address when helping the organization guide through or plan for a growth phase in their startup. Lastly, if you have any questions about what you heard in this video, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Thanks again for watching.